So summer has come to a close, and some of us, especially those in Alberta, are enjoying the first snowfall already. But not that long ago, we were spending time by the water and hanging out in the sun. So it's easy to forget that in a few months, we will be facing scenes like this. Next slide. It's easy to see why some of us like to get away in the winter. And our long stays can help you do just that. So what is a long stay vacation? These are culturally immersive trips that are expertly put together. They consist of great accommodation and will give you ample opportunity to explore each destination. We make sure that they are properly vetted for quality and service. Based on a recent customer survey, 92% of clients would recommend our long stay program to others. So take your time to discover, either independently or with a guided tour. Many of these cultural excursions can be booked locally at your resorts, and here you get to live like a local with the perks of a tourist. Accommodation is often apartment style with a small kitchen, so you can make your own simple meals. And while our program is smaller than last year, we still have many destinations. You will see that there's something for everyone. So unlike in past years, this year, our program is a little bit smaller and we have not included flights. We did this to allow travelers for greater flexibility, because often people want to stay longer or to have the ability to travel after their long stay. What is included are transfers, vetted condo or hotel style accommodations, some cultural excursions and local representatives, as well as all the taxes. What is not included? Well, insurance. Insurance is something that many people who traveled with us last year are thankful they purchased. Ensuring that you are properly covered for unforeseen circumstances, whether it is a world pandemic or a medical emergency, is key to having peace of mind on a trip. Merit Travel is now able to offer insurance for COVID, so please make sure you ask your travel consultant for more details. The fine print. What else is not included? We do charge a professional fee of $65 a couple, and our consultants are here to help you not only with planning your trip, but packing lists, suggestions, and more to help you make the best of your vacation. We are able to make sure that not just your consultant, but you have the expertise of our entire team that is behind you and they're ready to help despite any situation that may arise. And now I'm going to hand this over to Jeff. And Jeff, you can take it away.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Annabelle. Good afternoon, everyone. Definitely appreciate you taking the time to join us today. I'm actually one of the lucky ones based in Alberta, so I have got a taste of that snow. And actually, for the forecast this weekend, they're calling for more as well. So seeing those winter photos definitely is inspiring me to plan and think about getting away. It's been a tough year on everyone, I think, obviously. So we're here once you're ready to start planning again. Again, today we're really just going to provide you with hopefully some motivation, some inspiration, showing you these visuals, talking about these long stay opportunities, and just giving you some ideas to maybe think about in getting away this winter. This has been, I've been with the company 17 years with Exotic Journeys. And the last 5-10 years, the long stay concept has really taken off. And, we've realized, there's a lot of baby boomers, there's a lot of retirees, there's a lot of snowbirds. And aside from just going down to Phoenix or Palm Springs, there's so many other unique destinations. Oh, if someone could maybe mute their line there. All right, sorry, just had some background noise. I think it's an echo on somebody's computer. Anyways, we realized, aside from Phoenix and Palm Springs, there really are some unique other opportunities, to get away for these longer durations. So over the past few years, we've worked very closely with Merit Travel, It's been a successful concept for, exotic journeys for Merit, and going to places like south of Portugal, French Riviera, Costa del Sol in Spain. So again, we're going to show you some of these visuals and just give you an idea of what really encompasses a long stay vacation. Before I get into the presentation, I just did quickly want to mention, if you're somebody that prefers, a different style of travel, there's a lot of other opportunities that I just quickly wanted to go through as well. So we have some very unique self-drive itineraries where you would get your car rental and your accommodation and drive yourself from point A to point B. This is really popular in the UK, in Ireland, in Iceland, Switzerland. So we do have some unique self-drive ideas. We even can do some camper van and RV motorhome rentals as well. So keep that in mind. We do some unique rail journeys and small ship cruising. Again, for those that prefer to be, maybe in a smaller group now, the small ships have really taken off and will continue to be popular, whether you're hopping around, the Greek islands, the islands in Croatia, Fiji, just to name a few destinations. Galapagos, of course, is on many people's bucket list with the small ships as well. The last thing, too, I'll just mention is we are able to customize anything. So if you sit down with your travel agent at Merit, they'll get in touch with our reservation agents at Exotic Journeys, and we really can start from scratch and create the perfect itinerary that's tailor-suited for your needs. So again, we can customize and include the perfect itinerary that you're looking for. So of course today though, we are talking about long stays, and Annabelle touched on this a little bit. The couple things that I want to point out in terms of what's included in a long stay. First of all, it's usually 3 to 4 weeks duration. So again, if you are able to get away for that long, the price point on these is unbelievable. Now, we mainly do these in the fall and winter for a couple of reasons. The destinations that we're choosing are very popular with other Europeans and other tourists in the summertime. So it's way more crowded, way more expensive. So going in the fall and winter is the off season. And obviously during everything that's going on, you probably want less people there now anyways. Plus the price point is a lot more attractive. Of course, as we already showed you the pictures, you're escaping the winter weather during that time. And the climate is still very enjoyable in a lot of these destinations. Now, it's not going to be the plus 30 degrees beach vacation. However, many days are going to be, 18 to 20 some degrees Celsius. So you will be able to wear short and t-shirts walking around during the day, and you're escaping the minus 30 that we normally have in Canada. Now, I put in brackets as well. Usually they're set departure dates. And the benefit for doing that is because we're booking multiple rooms as a group, again, we get better pricing because it is more than one hotel room. We're blocking off a big group of hotel rooms. So that's a couple things I wanted to mention with that. In terms of the accommodation, as Annabelle mentioned, a lot of these are condo facilities that give you that, kitchen, and you can go to the market for some essentials. And because you're going for that long duration, it's nice to have, the fridge, the stove, the microwave. If you want to make a quick sandwich, if you want to grab some fresh produce and vegetables from the market. So you do have the kitchen obviously available to you in a lot of these properties. The other thing too, some of them have different views. So if you're okay with just, a land view, some people want to upgrade to a sea view or a pool view. We also have some that have studios or upgrade to a 1-bedroom, which is a larger unit. So we do have a few different, accommodation options available to choose from. Some of the properties in terms of meals will include daily breakfast. So it's a great way to start your day. You don't have to worry about making anything. Again, you have the kitchen if you're there in the afternoon. And then we do find during the evening, a lot of people will either go into town or, do the odd meal at the restaurants that are available on property at these resorts as well. So there are different meal options. And of course, the transfers are included. So whatever airport you fly into, The transportation down to the resort and, of course, on the return would be included as well. Now, I do want to emphasize the last 2 points because I think they're very important here. First of all, as I mentioned, it is a group departure. Now, the exciting thing for that is we find it's very like-minded travelers, a lot of people in the same age demographic, and best of all, they're all Canadians. So majority of the resort is going to be Canadian passengers from different gateways across Canada. And, it's very uncommon for people to, make lifelong friends, or sorry, I should say it's not uncommon for people to make lifelong friends. And we see a lot of repeat clientele, and next year they'll go to a different long stay destination. So we're very excited because of those group departures that this potential is available out there. And the last thing is having that representative in destination. So they're not available 24/7, they're not at the resort every single day. However, they are based there locally. And usually after you get settled, after the first day, they'll do an orientation. They'll, show you the lay of the land. If you need, directions to where the market is, they can help arrange a car rental. They'll also come by the resort every few days and see if anyone's interested in, doing a day trip or an excursion. So the great thing with those day trips and excursions as well is you can either do it as a couple on your own, or if you want to get, 6, 8, 10 people together, they can do that as well and help arrange. So there's a few of you all enjoying the same excursion that day. So again, this is kind of what's included when we're talking about these long stay packages. Now we're super excited to launch, 2 exclusive departures with Merit Travel this season. One of them in Portugal, one of them in Malta, and we're marketing these as Long Stay Plus because there are some additional added bonuses that normally are not included on these long stays. So you're only able to book these with Merit Travel. They're exclusive. You'll notice the first one in Portugal is departing March 14th for 24 nights. So you actually land in Lisbon, do a couple nights, and then go down to the Algarve. And we'll show you some pictures of the resort, but it's a nice combination. Of course, in addition, the transfers, as I mentioned, the daily breakfast are included, but a couple bonus added features that we are including is a wine and cheese meet and greet. So we feel, again, this is great to introduce everyone and have the group kind of meet all on the first or second day. Enjoy this wine and cheese kind of meet and greet opportunity, and it's a great way to kick off, obviously, your long stay vacation. And then the other thing we're including as well is Plaza Premium Lounge passes. So again, that's another added value that you normally wouldn't receive. So this is the Portugal Long Stay Plus, and then we're doing the same in Malta. So March 1st for 21 nights, and that again is upgraded apartments. So you do have a 1-bedroom in both of these, transfers included, daily breakfast. And what we're doing for Malta is we're including 5 excursions. So, those day trips that we were talking about, we're automatically including 5 with these Long Stay Plus. And of course, the Plaza Premium Lounge again. So again, these are exclusive departures. We're going to take a look at these 2 destinations first. But again, keep in mind, these are exclusive with Merit Travel. All right, so let's start with beautiful Portugal. Again, along the Mediterranean is where we want to focus. So when it comes to the country of Portugal, you will fly into Lisbon, as I mentioned, but then you're going to travel south to the lower region called the Algarve. For those of you that maybe have been, you're probably familiar, beautiful beaches on the Mediterranean. Now, it's going to be probably too chilly to go into the water, but you can definitely, enjoy the beach, walk along the sand. Again, it's escaping the winter weather. One of the excursions, actually, just while the picture's up here, that you can do is take one of those boat excursions through the unique rock formations and caves. But again, it's a very popular region. Normally in the summertime, it is flocked with tourists from the UK. So in the summer, this used to be a quiet fishing village, and really the last 30 years it's taken off and has become a popular, summer destination for UK tourists. Now, the great thing is during the fall-winter season, this is when Canadians can enjoy it, and obviously, as I mentioned, it's not as crowded. But because a lot of UK tourists do travel there, English is very widely spoken. So when you're out in, the town of Albufeira and you're going to a shop or a restaurant or speaking with a lot of the locals, they do understand English and can speak it fairly well themselves. So it's not as much of a culture shock that you might see when we're looking at, France or Spain or Italy, for example. So again, the Algarve region is very popular, and you do get that Mediterranean climate. It's very safe to venture out. So if you do want to go for a stroll in the afternoon, if you do want to go into town and eat at a restaurant at night, by all means, it's very safe to do so. Now, the property we use in Portugal is the Vila Petra resort. So this we've been using for a few years. We get great feedback. And a lot of the resorts you're going to see, they do have a lot of those facilities. This has an indoor and outdoor pool. They do have a spa, a health club. There are a couple restaurant options right on site. So it is a full service resort, that 4-star category. When it comes to the rooms, the main thing I just want to mention is on the left-hand side, I split this slide up, you can see. So on the one side, you have the studio where you have your beds, your couch, your TV, your kitchen table all in one room. And then on the other side of this screenshot, you'll see the difference between the one bedroom. So a much larger sitting area, a much larger dining area, and then you have your bedding in an actual separate one bedroom. So with the Long Stay Plus exclusive with Merit, we have chosen to upgrade to the one bedroom accommodation. So you do get that larger facility. Now the kitchen, the balcony, the bathroom, it is the same in the studio or the one bedroom units. But again, I just quickly wanted to show you that visual and explain the difference between the studio and the one bedroom. So we are using that one bedroom facility. Now in terms of day trips, excursions, a lot of opportunity in Portugal, depending how much you want to venture out, it really is up to you. And a lot of people will spend a couple days just sitting by the pool. Other people will hit the beach a couple times. Now, if you do want to do a couple day trips, again, we have that local representative on site. So such things as a day trip to Gibraltar is possible. You can do that boat caves tour that I mentioned. You can do a traditional fado dinner with, music and local cuisine at a traditional Portuguese restaurant. You can do olive oil wine tasting. You can go to Fatima and take in a mass at the cathedral. So a lot of different options when it comes to these day trips. Now, I'm sure many of the questions on a lot of your minds are in terms of requirements and protocols. So Portugal actually, aside from just doing that 14-day quarantine when you get back to Canada, you are definitely able to fly there. Now, the resorts itself, I don't want to get into too much detail, but I did post, just a little recap of some of the things they're doing. So whether it's spacing out the lounge chairs by the pool, obviously the health and the health club and the spa, you'll need to make a reservation. Restaurants, obviously reservations will be encouraged. But to be honest, these resorts are probably cleanlier than they've ever been, from constantly wiping things down to the hand sanitizer stations. They're definitely taking the protocol and the necessary requirements to make sure everyone feels safe and can still enjoy their vacation. So yes, Portugal, you have no worries about, in terms of entry. And it's just that 14-day quarantine when you get back to Canada. Now, again, these departures, a lot of them are in March into April even. Knock on wood, it might be even a bit more normal by the time we get around to that time of year. So again, obviously, you know, we've talked about insurance, and that's something that we'll touch on more with the Merit travel agents. All right, so we talked about Portugal. The next one we're going to take a look at is Malta, and this one is really picking up the last few years. I think a lot of clients now have maybe been to the Portugal or Spain long stays. So now, you know, Croatia and Malta long stays are becoming more popular. A lot of people, you know, have a tough time visualizing where Malta actually is located. So I like to include this map, and you can see it's just off the coast of Italy. And this screenshot also shows the sister island of Gozo. And I want to mention that because that is one of the day trips that you can do from Malta as well. So there's a bit of Italian influence, there's a bit of British influence, but it is a beautiful destination. It is a smaller island, so very easy to get around, to navigate, you know, whether you are renting a car, whether you're doing some of the tours that pick you up at the hotel. There are even, you know, bus stops right in front of the property. But again, you can see the turquoise water, the Mediterranean Sea. It is a beautiful destination and not quite as touristy. So in terms of pricing, when it comes to meals, when it comes to souvenirs, you know, it is a lot more affordable than, you know, going to France or Spain, for example. So the property we use in Malta is the Sunny Coast. It's an apartment complex. Again, you know, pools, fitness centers, health clubs, restaurants, all right on property. The one thing I love about this image here is, you know, the middle top. Imagine just, you know, waking up in the morning with that view, going out onto your balcony, you know, having your morning coffee, or even during the evening with a glass of wine, and just taking in that beautiful view right off the balcony there. So again, daily breakfast is included with the Malta long stay. And this is a very popular 4-star condo apartment. As I mentioned, there's a bus stop right in front. There's restaurants within walking distance and some right at the property as well. So this is a very popular property that we do use. Now, I also mentioned that there's 5 excursions included with the Malta Long Stay Plus. So this is just a glimpse of what you would actually get to see and do on those excursions. So you maybe heard of the medieval town or city of Medina, so you will get to visit there. The sister island of Gozo I mentioned, so you take a ferry over and visit the sister island. The Blue Grotto that you see in the top right corner there, that's a popular excursion, and lunch is included. Valletta is another one. So a lot of history, a lot of unique architecture, and some great sightseeing. So those 5 excursions are included with the Long Stay Plus. Now, when it comes to requirements and protocol, again, Malta, aside from that 14-day isolation, you are able to enter Malta, no problem. You can fly there. Again, this is a list of the things that the property itself is doing when it comes to, you know, cleanliness and protocols and, you know, the different public areas. So again, it's very similar. Like I said, they're just spacing out the lounge chairs efficiently, you know, whether it's reservations required for the health club or maybe the gym, just so they can monitor the amount of people there. Restaurants, again, of course, are recommended for reservations as well. So they are taking the necessary protocols and making sure everyone feels safe. So those were the 2 long stay plus, Portugal and Malta. Now we do have 4 other quick long stays that I do want to quickly talk about as well, which is Spain, France, Italy, and Croatia. So a couple things that I want to point out with these 4 destinations. First of all, the Spain one that you see there, we've actually arranged the accommodation for the entire month of January. So this one is not a set departure. You can leave January 5th, you can leave January 10th, you can leave January 15th. Now we're basing it on 21 days, but technically you can do 28, 24, 26. You know, it really is up to you. That one is our most flexible one, and you really have the entire month of January to go what date and for however long you wish. Now, the France one I'll mention is a 28-night stay. So this one is our longest one. You're pushing that 4-week period, and a lot of people like the fact that it is a little bit longer when it comes to the duration. Now, when it comes to Italy and Croatia, these are the two destinations that I'll mention. You'll want to talk to your Merit travel agent. So there are some forms and requirements that you have to fill out and provide for entering Italy and Croatia. So these are the two destinations where there are some forms that you do need to fill out and some things that you need to take with you. So again, make sure you speak to your travel agent at Merit Travel. They'll be able to fill you in when it comes to those two. Now, Italy is very unique because we actually do a couple nights in Rome. Then you go down to the Amalfi Coast in Sorrento and finish off with a couple nights back in Rome again. So you can do the touristy stuff when you're in Rome. You get to relax and enjoy the Amalfi Coast when you're in Sorrento. So it's a very unique combination. And then last but not least, Croatia. Dubrovnik seems to be the most popular destination within the last year or two. And this one we do a little bit later. You'll notice it's in April. And because it's on the Adriatic Sea, not the Mediterranean, a little bit further north, we want the temperature, we want to make sure the temperature is still very enjoyable for people visiting during that time. So quickly, Costa del Sol, some of you may know, it stands for the coast of the sun. And, you know, when it comes to temperatures and climate, out of all the long stays, you're probably going to find the warmest temperatures in the Spain long stay. Now, you probably are familiar maybe where Barcelona and Madrid are located. We actually fly you, though, to make it easy, right into Malaga, right along that southern Mediterranean coast in the Costa del Sol. So if I blow this map up a little bit more, just to give you an idea, you'll see now Malaga is in the top right corner. And about 20 minutes south of that, you're going to enter the area of Torremolinos, Benalmádena. So this is where our long stay properties are located and where you'll be kind of stationed for the long stay. It's very easy, though, to navigate, whether you take, you know, the autobus, whether you take the car rental to get to some of these other towns that you see, like Fuengirola, Marbella, all along that Mediterranean coast. Now, the great thing with the Costa del Sol, so Portugal, it's more of those rock formations, very beautiful, unique, sort of secluded beaches. Costa del Sol has a long stretch, almost like a boardwalk. So for many people, they love taking a morning or evening stroll and, you know, going along this beautiful boardwalk, people watching, looking at the ocean, you know, walking even through the sand. And it is one of the highlights for many people, of course, with the marina as well. So the property that we use is the Sunset Beach. Again, very popular. We've been using this one for quite a few years, and we get amazing feedback. Another 4-star property. Again, imagine being, you know, in one of these balconies. You can see the view here that you get, you know, right on the water, overlooking the pool, overlooking the ocean. And very easy to just walk out the front door of this property and continue on a nice leisurely stroll. They also have a great happy hour at this, restaurant. So great 2-for-1 specials on meals and drinks and things like that. So again, it is a very popular property, the Sunset Beach. So some of the excursions you can do for the Spain long stay. A traditional flamenco show is at the top of many people's lists. So again, obviously a lot of great culture and tradition involved with that. You know, strolling the marina, as we mentioned, going into town, you might hear the term of tapas. So that is the Spanish term for like appetizers. So they do a lot of share plates where you get small portions and order a few different appetizers. And, you know, wine is pretty much cheaper than water when it comes to Spain. So a lot of people in the evening will go into town for wine and tapas. I mentioned some of those other neighboring towns and villages. You know, you can see the oldest bullfighting ring in Spain. You can go even into Malaga, which is a city itself. So again, it really is up to you how much you want to see and do, but these are some of the opportunities if you are looking to get away and venture off property for a day trip or an excursion. So when it comes to Spain, again, just like Portugal, Malta, aside from the 14-day isolation, you are able to fly there. Again, I posted just a quick screenshot of what the property itself is doing when it comes to the protocol and cleanliness and making sure everyone feels safe. So again, the agents at Merit Travel all have access to this information. If you did want more specifics on one of these properties, I'm sure they'd be happy to provide that for you. Now, one of the interesting ones for me, as I mentioned, is the Italy long stay. And again, I think it's because you get a unique combination. So you are starting in Rome and, sort of settling into that Italian culture. If you want to do some of those, popular excursions and sightseeing there, then the whole group transfers down the Amalfi Coast and you stay in Sorrento. So you can see on the map, you're very close to Naples and you're very close to the island of Capri. So those are two very easy, popular day trips that you can take in as well. And when it comes to the scenery, I think it's very, very hard to beat the Amalfi Coast. This is just one screenshot that probably even doesn't really do it justice, but with the hills and just the buildings built into the hillside, there's a lot of walking, hiking opportunities. So if you're a little more active or looking for something a little more active, this area would probably be very appealing for you. The property we use in Sorrento is the Grand Hotel Flora. So it is a 4-star property. You can see it's got more of that traditional, architecture, a little bit more history. Again, it's got the pool facilities. The one thing I'll mention with Sorrento, it's very hard to find condo accommodations there. So unfortunately, this one is a traditional hotel style, but again, daily breakfast is included. And there's tons of restaurants within walking distance. You're actually only about 5 minutes, I believe, from the square itself. So again, very easy to get around, whether you are renting a car, whether you're walking, whether you're taking the bus, it is easy to navigate. Some of you may know as well, this region is very well known for limoncello. So if you're a fan of the drink, this is where the giant lemons are produced. Also, a lot of people, when they are walking into town, there's a lot of those neat little gelato shops with like 80 flavors of ice cream. So again, just trying to paint a picture and give you a visualization. When it comes to the excursions, Pompeii, Mount Vesuvius, again, very popular option. I mentioned the island of Capri, I mentioned Naples, and really just getting out and exploring, the Amalfi Coast. So Positano and Sorrento, and a lot of people will rent a car for a day and venture out and explore and, do some of these day trips and really take in. And then you get to go back to Rome again for the last couple nights before flying back to Canada. So again, I think this one's a really neat opportunity. And then we have Croatia. So as I mentioned, within the last year or two, Croatia has become extremely popular. I think people, whether they stop there on a cruise itinerary and maybe got a small taste of it, or they know somebody that's been to Croatia, maybe you watched the TV show Game of Thrones, a lot of that was filmed there. So we do the long stay right in Dubrovnik. And you can see where that's located on the map of Croatia, which is the very southern tip. So you are very close to both Montenegro and Bosnia-Herzegovina. So there are some day trip opportunities there. And actually, from many clients, the day trip into Montenegro is a pleasant surprise, and they're very impressed with the difference in the scenery between the two. So obviously Dubrovnik, very well known with the red roofs that you see in all the pictures, the old town, with the walls. So again, a lot of history and culture there. And the properties we use, so there's 2 sister properties, both Valimar chain. One is La Croma, one is Argosy, right next door to each other. And we usually find out a few weeks prior which property the group gets to stay at, but they're very similar. So again, they're sister resorts, both 4-star properties. You can see stunning, you know, very modern in terms of architecture, you know, the pools. You can see even with the seating areas and the swings and the gardens, a lot of opportunity to sit outside and take in everything, obviously. So Valimar La Croma, Valimar Argosy, they are a regular hotel style. So this is the only other destination. So Sorrento and Dubrovnik, it's very hard to find those condo facilities with the kitchenette. So again, this one is a traditional hotel style, but again, you get that daily breakfast included. And then a lot of times you're out venturing in town for lunch or dinner anyways. So keep that in mind. When it comes to excursions, I mentioned Montenegro, I mentioned Bosnia and Herzegovina. They actually do have a Game of Thrones movie set tour if you are a big fan. One of the popular ones is actually going into Split. So this is a beautiful resort area, you know, doing some of the island hopping just off the coast of Dubrovnik and really taking in the beautiful beaches and scenery there. So Croatia is another up-and-coming long-stay destination that we're seeing some great potential with. And last but not least, the French Riviera. So I'm saving this one for last because it is a little bit different, and I'll explain that in a second. So just to give you an idea, again, the French Riviera. So the property we use is very close to Nice. So you probably have heard of that. You can see pretty much right in the middle of the map there. But you're close to Cannes, you're close to Monte Carlo, Villefranche-sur-Mer. So there's a lot of neat little towns, again, that are very easily accessible and a lot of great day trip opportunity as well. And of course, the scenery, you know, many of you are familiar with the French Riviera, you know, the yachts and some of the, you know, the elite, rich and famous, you know, the Cannes Film Festival and things like that. So it's a beautiful area. Of course, you know, for Canadians, being able to go for 28 nights is very appealing, and getting, you know, that month-long duration. So the property we use is the Residence Heliotel Marine. So it is a condo facility with that kitchen. Now it is more like an apartment as opposed to a hotel resort. So just to mention that, because, you know, there's not a big lobby with the front desk. It's almost like you get your apartment and they kind of leave you on your own. So there's not a restaurant on site. They do have the pool. You are within walking distance to the beach, but it's a little bit more of an apartment as opposed to a resort is what I'm trying to explain. The other culture shock is a lot of the TV channels are French channels. Now, not many people are going there to watch TV, let's be honest, but again, you probably only have a couple English channels if you are turning the TV on one evening just to relax. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, you got your kitchen facilities, you got you know, the pool and everything still available. Now, the main difference, because, you know, there's not a big hotel staff, you know, if you run out of toilet paper, you got to go to the market yourself and buy a new roll of toilet paper. So treat it as if, you know, you're in someone's apartment and it's yours for the 28 nights. So France is, again, one of the countries that, again, you can fly into, aside from the 14-day isolation. And again, here's just some of the protocols that the hotel chain is put in place when it comes to safety and health requirements. So hopefully that gave you some inspiration on the 6 long stays. As I mentioned, we got those 2 exclusives and then the 4 other long stay destinations as well. And I will mention you are able to browse our website. So if you go to exotictours.com, and if you click on destinations, you can check on Croatia, on Malta, on Spain, on Italy, and you can actually view some of the more details on these long stay packages. So you can see here, all you need to do is click the button that says View Tour, and then it'll bring up a PDF with pictures of the resort, with description of the property, with some of the excursions that you can book and arrange locally. So all this information is available. Now, you're not able to contact us directly, but you're certainly able to view all this information and then obviously reach out to your travel agent at Merit Travel. So by all means, you can view all these details and get more information and then reach out to your travel agent at Merit Travel. The last thing I'll just quickly mention is we're very excited. We've recently just finished producing this brochure for Merit Travel that touches on all these long stay packages. So I believe they are going to email a link to all of you that attended today, and you'll be able to view this brochure online as well. So it goes through all the long stays and even some more interesting, unique ideas as well. So you'll be able to see all the ones that we talked about, and keep an eye out for that email and the link to view this electronic brochure. So last but not least, a couple things I just want to mention. When it comes to booking, obviously we understand what's going on right now in the world. You know, as I mentioned, hopefully by March and April, things will maybe be a bit more normal. Now, it's exciting to see a lot more countries are opening up. A lot more Canadians are starting to travel and think about 2021. So when it comes to these long stay packages, you'll notice they all just had a land only price, as Annabelle mentioned. And the reason is, you know, airlines are still changing schedules. They are still, you know, announcing, you know, different routes and things like that. So it's probably better to hold off if you can on the air portion. Obviously, the agents at Merit Travel will be able to book your flights if need be. So when it comes to securing the land portion, all that we are requiring is a $100 per person deposit. And then the final amount would be due 50 days prior to your departure date. So that is fully refundable up until that final departure date. Now, after that point, you know, God forbid if, you know, a situation arises, obviously we'll work with you, we'll work with Merit Travel as need be. Should for whatever reason, you know, one of these destinations or hotels is no longer able to accept guests. So we'll definitely worry about that when we come to it. But, you know, the deposit is refundable all the way up to 50 days prior, and it is just $100 per person. And, you know, as Annabelle mentioned, of course, they are able to book travel insurance, which obviously during these times is very strongly and highly recommended. So you'll be able to arrange that with the agents as well. Now, we do also want to thank you for attending today. So we do have a show special, $50 off if you're a solo traveler. If you're traveling as a couple, we'll do $100 off per couple if you book any of these long stay packages by the end of October. So again, it's just our little thank you for those that are attending today. And if you are interested in one of these long stay packages, we'll take that price off, or we'll take that discount off the price of the package. And again, it's just a $100 per person deposit. So if you're interested, keep that in mind by the end of October. Now, before I hand it over to Annabelle, just for some closing remarks and see if there's any questions that you guys have, I just want to personally, again, thank you for attending today. It's an extremely great turnout. We certainly appreciate you taking the time. So we're going to do a little prize giveaway, and hopefully someone can keep an eye on the chat room. So what you're going to want to do is be the first one to type the correct answer into the chat box. So if you are ready, be prepared. I'm going to give a $100 future travel voucher that is redeemable with Merit Travel for an exotic journeys package. So my question, which two long stay destinations do we offer the long stay plus that are exclusive to Merit Travel? So out of those 6 that we talked about, which 2 long stay destinations are the long stay plus, where we have those added bonuses and are exclusive to Merit Travel?
So I see that Ian is ready right off the gun there. And Lauren Dells, who is also on this chat, is going to reach out to you privately to get your email address so that we can get this voucher to you.
Perfect. Congratulations. So I'll hand it back over to Annabelle for the last couple slides here and open it up for a question and answer after that.
So thanks again, everybody. We do have some more virtual, and thank you, Jeff, actually. Great presentation, great photos. And I see everybody in the chat, lots of people have been messaging and giving advice and being very enthusiastic about this program. Thanks again. We do have some more virtual experiences coming up. We have a hiking and walking trips October 29th with Exodus Travels. We will be talking about Seabourn on November the 19th and how to travel responsibly and safe with G Adventures on November 29th. Now there's so many chats. I am going to scroll through them, but I can see that at the very beginning, somebody has asked, what, if any, do you have single supplements or any discounts for solo travelers? Jeff?
Yeah, great question. Actually, I should have touched on that. So I'm glad that someone thought of it. So first of all, if you are a solo traveler, this is a great opportunity and an idea to keep in mind. Because there are so many like-minded travelers, we do get a lot of solo people that, you know, end up going and becoming friends with many people on the trip and hanging out by the pool and things like that. Now, there is a supplement. It isn't double the price, so don't worry, but there is a small supplement if you are traveling as a solo. So we don't divide the price in half, unfortunately, but there is a small supplement because the way the hotels see it is normally they could have 2 people in that room. So it's really not our choice. So it's not 200%, but there is a small supplement if you are a solo traveler.
Somebody has asked, is it only resort living? Are there any off-site apartments or houses?
So the long stay packages that we are talking about today are more the resort style. Now we can look if you do want something a little more off the beaten path, that is more just a traditional, you know, apartment. So that's something that, yeah, you'd have to touch base with your travel agent at Merit Travel, and then they would get in touch with us. So you wouldn't be able, you know, to travel on one of these groups. But if that's something, you know, just the 2 of you wanted to look into on your own, we could certainly look at.
Are the prices per person? What if there are 3 people? Are there 2-bedroom apartments?
So they are per person. I believe only 1 or 2 of them have 2-bedroom units. Off the top of my head, I don't want to give the wrong answer, but we'd be able to look into that. So yes, they are per person based on double. So some of them, they can sleep up to 4 people. So that would even bring the cost down even a little bit more if you did have 3 or 4 people. Now, again, we could see which ones did have the 2-bedroom units available.
Thank you. So lots of people have been asking, they couldn't see like the terms and conditions or what each property is doing for COVID. So I am going to say that once we send out the e-brochure, you'll be able to see the name of the hotel and be able to go on either the hotel website or the Exotic website to see exactly what each property is doing for COVID, as well as on the e-brochure, it will have all the terms and conditions, what your deposit is, what your final payment is, when it's due, and all the cancellation penalties. Somebody has asked about the water temperature in March. I don't know what property or what destination they were looking for, but maybe Jeff, could you just let us know?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the oceans will all be way too chilly unless you're very, very brave. But they do usually all have heated outdoor swimming pools. So you'll definitely be able to go in the outdoor pools. A lot of days, as I mentioned, you know, could be 20, 21, 22 degrees. And then some of them even have indoor swimming pools as well if the climate isn't enjoyable. Obviously, we can't control that. So that's just the normal temperatures I'm basing it off of. But yeah, in terms of the ocean, I doubt you'll be able to swim in there.
And is there internet, like is internet included in the price? Is that an extra cost? Do all the properties have internet?
As far as I know, they all have Wi-Fi. Now, in some parts of the resort, it could be a little spotty, but if you're in the room, if you're in the lobby, the Wi-Fi connection should be pretty good. Now, if you're down by the pool or closer to the beach, you know, you might not have the greatest signal, but yes, as far as I know, they all have free Wi-Fi.
The property in France, is there only one property, and where is it located?
No, so there are a few properties. Now, the one we featured is the one that's closest to Nice, but there's actually, so the hotel chain we use is called Pierre and Vacances, and there's a few options, and when you get the Merit brochure, you'll see that we are highlighting a few of them, and also if you go on the Exotic Tours website, you'll be able to see a few of the other properties as well. So they're all part of the same hotel chain. They're just in different areas along the French Riviera. We choose that one because it is the closest to Nice, which again is a very popular area.
And do you have the slide, or can you just tell us what the prices are for the French Riviera trip?
Oh, I can pull that up again quickly.
That was a very specific question.
Yeah, I think it was $1,099 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so based on 28 nights, that was a March 6th departure, $1,099. So great price point. Again, it is a little more basic. That's why the pricing is very, very attractive for 28 nights. If the others are 4-star, that would be more of like a 3 to 3.5 star.
Okay. What city do you fly into when you fly into Malta?
Oh, I forget the airport code.
Okay.
Do you know off the top of your
I'm just
head?
going to suggest that anybody who has questions about where to fly into Malta, France, or Croatia, speak to one of our travel consultants and they will help you with that.
I think the airport is called Valletta.
Yeah, I would imagine it's right into Valletta. Now, again, a lot of these you might be doing a double connection depending where you're based in Canada. Obviously, you know, Malta's a small island, so you're probably flying into somewhere like Frankfurt first and then down to Malta. So it could be a double connection with, you know, a place like Malta.
Great. So everybody who's asking for the solo prices or the prices on the 2 bedrooms or the cancellation policies, please speak to your Merit travel agent. We will be able to get that to you. For those of you asking about a hard copy of the brochure, we are trying to be environmentally friendly these days, but we will have a limited selection of brochures that are available in a hard copy. Again, you'll have to request that directly from your travel consultant. And I think we are running out of questions. By the way, Jeff, tons of people answered your question correctly, so I guess they are all listening to you.
Great, paying attention.
Again, there's more questions about the single supplement. And I think it's different for each location, and it depends on specifically what accommodation you choose in that destination. Somebody has asked if we are doing guided long stays like we've done in the past. Unfortunately, this year, due to the whole COVID situation and a reduced destination and possibly reduced numbers of people traveling, we are not offering a host that goes with you from Canada on all these trips. But like Jeff said, we do have a local representative who is at each property. They aren't available 24/7, but they are there to help you and to help guide you, help you book an excursion, or if you have trouble finding the supermarket, they're there at your service. Okay. I think this is it for the questions. Thank you again, everybody who's stuck with us till the very end. And you are the winner of the $100 gift voucher. I hope that you've reached out to Lauren and have passed on your email address for that. If not, you can contact me. It's in the chat directly, but I think that that has been taken care of. And thanks again to everybody who took time out of their busy afternoon to come join us. We will be sending out a follow-up email with the recording as well as the e-brochure. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.